Hello, and welcome back to RookGypsy Plays Pokemon Crystal. This is part 11, and in this episode we're going to train up our weaker Pokemon and get them stronger. I'm going to use a lot more of this speed boost sort of thing. Oh, Nabra. Oh, he fainted. Oh, Speary. Oh, Speary. That's fine, though. Ooh, Ditto. I think one of the things that I used to have in all my previous playthroughs, I'd always catch a Ditto. Because one of the things I used to do was I would something we used to do, meaning my cousins and I, is that why is me missing? We would catch certain Pokemon, and we did trade with each other's, once. They traded all of it once, so they made it so that they got all the starters. So I only had one. They're very well, let's just say I was used essentially. So, but they get for the benefit of the doubt, they did give me a Alakazam. And then I was like, yay, I really like the Alakazam. So then I cloned it. This is back, we use the box, cloning technique. The one where, you switch boxes and stuff. So we cloned it a bunch of times. I think at the very end I had, 3 Alakazams in my team. And then, for Alligator, and then don't remember what else I had. I think it just might have been 2 for Alligators and then 3 Alakazams and then something else. I don't know. It's a lot of Alakazams. It was a good Pokemon. One of the stronger psychic Pokemon, so liked having it around. A lot of Drowsies here. Alright. I'm not complaining because it gives my Pokemon lots of EXP, so. Speary is level 17. Okay, there we go. Uh-huh. So I was talking to my mom earlier about the students in my class, and I was just saying, yeah, they're very bad students. They don't really. I was just telling her about them, and then she was like, "You need to learn to appreciate them better." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "They're not functioning the way they should be. They know they should be behaving, and they're just specifically not behaving." It's like, oh, but maybe this, maybe that. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. Oh, you need to find a way to get to know them better. I'm like, there's no such way that'll happen. They're clearly rejecting everything I'm telling them, so and they only want help with their homework. And once their homework is done, they're like, I don't want to do anything else. And I'm like, this give and take. This is just a give relationship at this point. I'm helping them, and then they're not repaying by doing anything for me. It'd be nice if they. I mean, I've checked their homework. I've checked the homework every day, and I'm just like, I could do that, myself. And if I was really doing it, I could finish the homework. I don't know, 15 minutes maybe, without trying. I think that's it the last time. And it's taking these kids it's taking them hours to finish it. That's not the way it should be. Alright, well. Oh, Speary seems to be a bit tired. Let's go Bunted. Hmm. So I don't like when the kids in my class are. Mm, mm. Doesn't help that the kids don't listen to a single word I say. Keep telling them to be quiet and they don't listen. They'll quiet down for like a minute and it immediately gets louder again. Kids are annoying like that. Mm. Okay, well, that's a couple levels. And then they might switch. Okay. Well, thunder. Oh, come on. There you go. Mm. Really? Well, I'm at my level 17. Mm. I'm not sure what else to say, but it's like typical that my mom would never take my side. You know, she's my mom. She always never takes my side, and that seems to be the case growing up. Is my mom, my sister, my siblings never really listen to anything I say. I'll tell them something, and it's like, all right, well, there goes that. Like, I'll tell them something, and they just ignore, and then I'm like, you didn't listen. And it's like, all right, well, now it's just bit you in the foot because you didn't listen to me. Like, why didn't you listen to me? If you listened to me, it wouldn't have happened. I don't know. I just don't like dealing with people these days. It's too unproductive, and there's really no reason for me to deal with them. I don't want to, and there's no reason for me to. Mm, mm. I mean, it'd be nice if the kids listened to me. I've given them. I mean, it's like I want the kids to listen to me, but it's also like, all right, well, it's clear that they're not very intelligent because I've tested this out. I've actually given them like answers to questions and stuff, and they just stare blankly at me. And it's like, really? I told you the answer to this one like minutes ago. They're like, oh, well, what's the answer? I'm like, you weren't paying attention. Oh, Yama's useless, but it gives lots of XP. Hmm. Yes. Sonic Boom is not needed. Mm-hmm. Uh, uh, my mom. There's really no helping it. Like, my mom has generally never taken my side. And, like, on the way back, I was like, do you remember any of this stuff? And then she was like, what? I'm like, oh, great. She doesn't remember anything. And she doesn't remember anything from the past. Like, there was all these times where you had to pick me up. I keep telling, like, you were always super late. She's like, what? I don't remember this. I'm like, yeah, no, you guys were, like, the latest people. I was always, like, one of the last ones there. I'm always like, alright, well, this is... It's always, like, I have fun at... I think I had, like, relatively, like, an okay time during the day, like, the normal day at school. You know, that's, like, until... Normally, I don't know. Depends, really. Let's see... Oh, cool. Oh, evolved into Furo, yay! Evolved into Furo. Level... Huh. Level 20, huh? Now the stats are increased quite a bit. Comparatively, alright. Alright, let's see how it does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, one of the things my mom was like, she was always the last person to pick me up. Like, my parents would always pick me up, and I'm always like, the last, if, like, one of the last, if not the last. And I'm like, you know, a lot of the days I'm like, okay, well, the sun's, like, you're picking me up, and the sun is either setting or it is set like an hour ago, depending on daylight savings time. So, yeah. And she remembers none of it. I'm like, great. Yeah, it's sort of the frustrating thing about being the youngest child is that my mom does not know my mistreatment. Because, like, when I was in my after-school program, the teachers always complained about us. I mean, it was a different time, so they would always complain about us, like, telling us I feel like I'm repeating myself. That's probably because I mentioned everything before earlier to my mom. So, every day I go to work, I have to go pick up the kids, and the kids complain about how they're overworked. I'm like, what? You're not overworked. Yes. Don't need focus energy. Hmm. Hmm. Doesn't seem to do a lot of damage, though. Okay, well, whatever. Hmm. I'm really not sure what to say. I'm just not. I guess I'm sort of not in the mood to talk right now. I think it's because the kid's fault. I guess I'll just tell you what. It's also because I spent like explained everything to my mom earlier, and I was just like, "There's all this, and then this happened." So I guess I'll explain like what the kids normally go through, or I guess that's not really easy. So the kids like get off at 3, which is pretty normal most of the time, except for Wednesdays. Apparently, Wednesdays is like apparently this across the board. You must have minimum days on Wednesdays now, which is big pile of just wasted time. Like, all right, well, you guys. And back in the day, or back when I was a student, I'm scratching my nose here. Minimum days were for special occasions. You didn't just have a minimum day whenever you want, or like once a week. There had to be a reason for a minimum day. Like the fact, like generally, it's like, oh, it might be, uh, it might be open house. So we need to like have the place open, and the teachers need the extra time to prepare like stuff for the open house. Or if it's like, okay, well, we have this. Actually, no, I think that was about it. That was only the reason we had like. It's generally like at the end of the year or like the first week of classes, last week of like classes where it's generally all finals, like finals week, or it's like, or just like I think those are the main two really. And there were like no other reasons why you would have minimum days. There's really no reason for it. But now these kids get minimum days like every other week. Like every week, at least once a week, they get a minimum day. It's like, really? You really defeated the purpose of having it then. Now it's no longer the special occasion. Now it's like just another. It's that time of the week again. Almost like, all right, well, it's just like a cycle of a day at that point. So the kids have like minimum days every day. They generally like go to class until 3. I'm like, all right, fine. Get picked up around 3, a little bit later than 3 because there's always like a lot of teachers and students in the way. So pick up the students, drop them off at the AYC, drop them off at the tutoring center. Drop them off at the tutoring center. I generally have to do 2 rounds of pickups because the kids are always annoying. Or just because like I'm the person that's like picking up the kids. I'm like, really? I have to do twice as many, but alright, whatever. I don't need rage. Yes. And then So the kids would do that, and then like I'd get back around like 3:20ish, and it's like, all right, well now the kids are 3:30 is a break. So the kids are pretty much, they've been working for like 10 minutes, and now they can go like relax, play around, and they're next to a park, so it's like just take them to the park and stuff, and they get to enjoy the park and stuff. And the kids like the park. They're enjoying it. I'm like, that's good. Here's the thing, right? They get a 30-minute break, which I guess is fine. When I was their age, and when I was in my after school center, we got 2 breaks. The first one was a 10-minute break. The second one was a 15-minute break. And the 10-minute break, it was like use the restroom, or you can go and play, but we only have like a parking lot. So you have to play inside like a parking lot. And it was just it's not like, oh, we have an actual parking lot. It was just, we have these like giant fences that we set up. They're like 9 feet tall, 9 or like so feet tall. In fact, it was almost like, you go to the baseball stadium, and then we just have like an entrance where the cars would come in, and that was all. That was that's where you played for 10 or so minutes. There was no shade, no trees, like the place where the kids go to. There's like always shade. So there's like these giant trees that like cover the park. The place, that I went to, no shade, no ice cream guy that comes by with snacks that you can buy from. There's no what's it called? There's no what do they call it? Playground for us to play in. We didn't have any of that. All we had was I don't think we were even allowed to use balls unless it was on Friday, and that was like a special occasion. Other days it was like, alright, well, just play around. And then after break it was like normally, like back when I was in my tutoring center, it was like you show up, you do homework. And I was always the last one to show up because my school was like the farthest away, I guess. And I was like, my school was more academic in a sense. So they're like, you got out later than everyone else. And then the teacher would make a big deal, like, oh, look who finally showed up. I'm like, do you think I waited outside for 30 minutes? And looking back, I'm like, your attitude is terrible. Like, do you understand, like, the physics of this? My school is the farthest away from here. It's like, well, these students got here. Those kids all get out 20 minutes before I do. 20 minutes. Okay? I get out, like, 3 something. I get out later than all of these other students, and you were complaining that I show up here later than when I'm also, like, my school is farther away than all these other students. Okay? And you are giving me, like, this lip. You know who drove the car? Wasn't me. I didn't drive myself here. You should know that by now. I clearly didn't drive myself. So why don't you ask the driver why we're late? Okay? And blame her. Because she drove us here. Maybe you should have asked her to drive faster. Yeah, I had a lot of complaints about these people. If I was smarter, I would have thought about it, but I don't know. I didn't think of that back then. So, yeah, I mean, the kids get like a 30-minute break in this wonderful park. Whereas we got like 10 minutes. And afterwards, the kids also get like snacks. Like, we did not get snacks. If you wanted snacks, there was a vending machine. You had to buy your own snacks. You know, and then there also was this thing where let's see, what was it? Like these kids have this thing where we basically have to check their homework, make sure it's right. When I was my tutoring son, like when I was younger, they had checked my homework to make sure it was right, and then they spoke back and said, "You're stupid for getting all of these wrong." I was like, looking back now, I'm like, dude, I'm in elementary school, man. What do you expect? I'm not a genius. I'm not gonna get everything right. And I think they also compared me to some of the other kids. It was very annoying. It was like, all right, well, you're like, never once did they say something positive about me. Like, they never once said anything positive, not a single time. It was always negative. And they gave out report cards, which is silly. Like, really? I'm being graded on this. My performance matters, huh? And for them it does, and then they actually made me, like, take a report card back and have my mom sign it because I did terrible, and I'm like, I'm doing terrible because I have, like, too much homework. And of course, you're saying, hey, Andrew, isn't that what the kids are saying? That they have too much homework? Here's what I mean by too much homework. I've checked the kids' homeworks. Like, these are all elementary school students. I always check their homework. Their homework isn't that far off from what I'm doing. Ooh, Tully Fisher. My good friend. You have something for me? Of course, I'm on my way. But yeah, no, I mean, I've checked their homework, and I'm saying it looks about the same amount. I mean, I think they're assigned about the same amount as, like, what I got when I was their age. Which is like a couple cheats every day. And I'm like, yeah, that's practically nothing. What I'm saying by I have too much homework is that I got the school's homework, and then I had what's it called? I had this I went, I said I went to after school program. Oh, what's what I'm gonna do? So I had the yes, finally got a Waterstone. Yes. Uh huh. Very unsecure place. You have a lot of people around here. Another maniac. All right. Nope. Let's see. What I was saying is, like, I had my homework. I might have to actually end this episode here. I don't think I can finish in time. Well, whatever. Well, I had homework. Let me just leave this here. Leave this on this side note. I had my school homework, which is the same amount they had. I had homework from my tutoring center that they assigned me, and I had homework that I had to do from Saturday classes. So yeah, please tell me who has more homework. Okay, I definitely had more homework than they did growing up. So yeah, thanks for watching. please subscribe. Probably just rant more about the stupid kids on my tutoring center. Yeah, bye.